welcome back to my channel. I'm Bushra and today I will be reviewing the Anastasia Subculture palette. It is slowly turning into the infamous palette. I'll let you know why later on. But before I get to that, if you're new, subscribe and hit the bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a video, and I do upload videos every week. Before I forget, I do want to mention that I bought this with my own money. This is not sponsored. Anastasia's never sent me anything. Hey guys, if you want to send me something, feel free. Please, I would love to, that would be awesome. I would love it. I spend all my hard-earned coins on this, okay? So before y'all go crazy, this is not sponsored. This is just my honest AF opinion. And if you want to find out how I did this look, stay tuned. And if you want to skip down, no worries. I got timestamps for you guys. It's going to be in the description right below. I'm applying Urban Decay's Primer Potion. Just the original one. All over my lid from my lash line to the brow. I don't know what colors to use. Oh, such a random array of shades. I'm gonna go ahead and use the brush that it came with just to see how well it works, because normally I don't like the brushes that come with palettes. I just kind of chuck them to the side and forget about them forever. I'm gonna use this nude shade right here called Dawn, and I will be applying this all over my lid. And by the way, yes, there is a lot of fallout. All I did was tap in my brush and there was a lot of product on the brush. Because of that, you want to tap off the excess. I don't know if you can see that. That is a lot. It's not really going to show up on my skin because I have basically the same skin tone. I was just using it for a light wash of color all throughout the lid. This brush is a little scratchy. It's a little stiff for my liking. I'm not the biggest fan of it. But it's not horrible. I've used brushes that are so much worse. I want to do a sharp line, so I'm going to put a little bit of tape. When I swatched this palette earlier on my hand, I noticed that they were really, really soft, and they weren't breaking down on me like I saw in some other people's. It was nothing like that, but I noticed that it was very dusty, so that usually means that I'm going to have a lot of fallout. Therefore, it's a duty. Today's a job for shadow shields. So I'm going to apply some right underneath my eyes just in case, because I do have foundation on and a little bit of concealer, not that much, but still I don't want to mess it up. Look how crazy I look. Seriously, look how crazy I look. They're like trays. People who have problem with fallout get shadow shields. Face feels all weird and I can't smile because when I smile I crinkle up my eyes. I'm gonna tap it really lightly. Yes, there's already fallout on there, but look at all the color that's on the brush. So just gonna tap it off. I don't know if you can see it, but there was a lot on the brush just by tapping it twice. And I'm gonna apply this right above my crease. It's a really pretty color. Such a pretty color. I love. I would really like to use this shade Axis. It's a beautiful dark teal green. It's a teal emerald type color. It's not quite teal, not quite emerald. And it's matte, and I do want to apply that to the outer corner. And I'm still using the brush. Seems like a pretty good size, like the other end of it. So here we go. Oh my God, that is so. Ooh, this is so pigmented. Oh wow. 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 Oh my God, this is so, it's a beautiful color. First off, beautiful, beautiful color. Holy crap at the pigmentation. It's a little scary. trying to make it fade. I don't want it as pigmented on the inner corner. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Wow. Wow. That was like one, here, let me show you. One tap, two tap, then tap off excess, and then right onto the eye. That's a lot of pigment right there. If you use a heavy hand with makeup, good luck. Good luck using this color. Like, seriously. Now I'm taking a clean Morphe 433 brush, and I'm just gonna clean out the edge. I just want it to blend a little bit better. But I do actually still want kind of a line there. Just trying to blend like more this part right here. I wonder how hard it's going to be to wash these brushes, because a holy pigment. Woo! And I'm using like a really bright but dark color. Towards the inner corner of my eye, I'm going to use Edge. It's like a very mustard yellow. And I'm applying that with a flat brush from Sigma. And oh my god, I like never have yellows show up on my skin. Wow. You guys see how lightly I'm touching, right? I am just patting. That's it. Wow. Damn, Anastasia. I'm not sure what possessed me to do like bright yellow and green, but okay. Now I'm gonna blend it into the green. Using a clean Sigma 224. Just kind of like going back and forth, trying to like blend it a little bit. I'm gonna reapply just a little bit of Axis right here to like brighten up the green again. I don't want it to get too muddied. I do want the green to show. Now with the Morphe 506 brush, I'm going to tap into Fudge and tap off the excess. You really have to do that with all these shadows. They're very, very pigment. You don't really have to do it for the shimmery ones, but most of them are matte. Do it for all of them, basically, just in case. And I want to apply Fudge right at the crease, like where Axis and, what was that, Roxy meets. And I'm going to soften up the line with the Morphe 514 brush. Do want to soften it up. I'm going to use my MAC mixing medium, and I'm putting like 3 drops on this little palette thingy that I have and wetting my brush with it. And I'm going to dip the wet brush into Electric because I just love, 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 love this shade. So pretty. It's so unique. And I'm going to apply it to where that yellow is, or basically where the center of my lid is. This reminds me of MAC's Old Gold pigment. It's a golden pigment that has like a green undertone, and when you put it above black, it looks just like this. Oh, it is gorgeous. Yes, this is so pretty. Now I'm taking a Morphe 433 and applying it dry around the edges to like blend it out. I applied Cube from the palette on my tear ducts, and I don't really like it. It's like a very pink toned shimmer. So instead I want to apply Glow Getter. It's the Nicole Guerrero palette that she did with Anastasia. And I just want to use that. Yeah, I like that like a lot more. I just wanted something a little bit warmer, and that was like way too cool tone for me. You know what? There's not that much fallout, but there is fallout. There's definitely a lot more fallout on my right side for some reason, but whatever. It did not mess up my foundation. But, uh-oh. It's too pigmented. I would normally do like my concealer and clean up and like put on lashes, but I want to put on the stuff underneath my eyes just to see like what kind of a mess I make. I'm gonna take fudge and line my whole lower lash line. God, this is like so freaking pigmented. Woo, it is way too pigmented. Help, help, help. Danger zone. Tapped ever so lightly into axis. I'm gonna put it right in the very corner. Okay, now that you've seen how these shadows apply, I think we can all agree that this palette is super pigmented. My gosh. So here's some swatches for you. And here are a couple live swatches. Okay, I have no primer on. Look at that. My goodness. And I just swatched Rowdy, Axis, and Adorn. And I really am gonna have to use a makeup remover because look, it's still like smeared all over my hands. So my initial reaction when I first saw this palette, I honestly had no idea that Anastasia was coming out with this palette at all. I know I really should be aware, but I just didn't know because like so many new things are coming out with every single brand out there. My friend told me about it and she tagged me in a picture. She was like, I'm gonna buy this next Tuesday. It's about to come out. I looked at it. It was honestly love at first sight because it was so different. Everything that's coming out is very neutral, very natural, but this palette reminded me of like the 70s. I can imagine people from the 70s wearing these kind of muted colors, like these mustards with like paisley colored like green and maroons and things like, I don't know, it just looked like a 70s palette. I read somewhere that it's supposed to be the sister palette to the modern Renaissance palette. I might be wrong about that, I'm not sure. But I looked at that I don't have that palette, by the way. I looked at that palette and I looked at this one and I'm like, how is this a sister palette? I don't know, but I simply wanted it because it was different. It has colors that I don't normally use. I don't use mustard yellows. I don't use like these orangey shades. Like it's just a bunch of mishmash of colors that kind of go together, but not really. You don't think to bring a palette like this when you're like traveling or anything like that. So instantly I was attracted to it because it was different. It also has only 3 shimmery shades, and that would be Cube, Electric, and Adorn. And I think Electric is a very unique color because it's very similar to MAC's Old Gold pigment. It's a gold pigment that has like a very green undertone, and when you put this on any sort of dark color, it has this greenish vibe. As you can see, that's what I did on my eyes, like that was the star of the show. I used Electric, Axis, and Fudge, and Roxy, and even Dawn. You know what? I used a lot of colors, and I used as many colors as I could without it turning into like a rainbow look. Although you can't really do a rainbow look because it's not really a rainbow looking palette. It's just very nice muted and it's like perfect for fall. I imagined autumn when I saw this palette and the 70s. Like I don't know why, but that's what I thought of when I saw this palette. I also was able to buy this the day that it was released. I bought it about 30 minutes after its release, and yeah, I kept getting kicked back. I had some problems, but I finally got it in the end. The shipping was pretty fast. I actually got this palette a couple days ago. I've been playing with it. I just didn't know what kind of look I wanted to do with it because the colors are just so random. First, I did want to do like a very fall look, and I was like, I want to do something green and bright, but I wasn't sure like how. As you saw during the tutorial, I just like didn't really know what to put together, but I think it all turned out pretty good. Like I really love the look that I ended up doing, you know? The cost of this palette is $42, and I thought it was like the perfect price for it because it's sort of up there with the brands like Urban Decay, Makeup Forever, Lorac, Tarte, Too Faced. So along the lines of those brands, I didn't think it was too high or anything like that. So Anastasia's quality is usually pretty good. Keep that in mind. It is usually pretty good. So, saying that, I could not help myself but watch 1 or 2 videos. I think it was 3 reviews on this palette, and all of them were negative because of the amount of fallout and that it applied very, very patchy for these people. I'm not going to name any of these people. Some were big, some were small YouTubers. It has nothing to do with that. But I saw it and they were having major issues with this palette. They were just like, straight up like, this palette sucks. They, you know, like redid their makeup and tried to do it, but they were having so many issues with it. I'm not sure why they were having that many issues. I can understand the fallout because there is a lot of fallout with this. When I first swatched all the colors on my hand, I noticed that they were velvety smooth. They were so soft and so smooth on my fingers and on my arm, like when I was doing the swatches. So I was like, you know what? Like, these shadows are super soft. That means they're going to be like really dusty, because after rubbing my like finger on the shadow, it left some residue and I just blew it off and like it was like a poof of, you know, eyeshadow. So I was like, okay, I have to tap these really lightly. Keep in mind, not all makeup products work the same. So clearly these shadows are very soft, and they were pressed a certain way to make them very soft and make them so fine. That's why when I was doing my eye makeup, I tapped them very lightly, okay? Because some people are saying maybe some people have, you know, a better quality palette for some reason because they're seeing tutorials, and some people just cannot work with it, and some people have good looks and it's just working out just fine. I want to let you guys know that I don't think I have a good batch or a bad batch or anything like that. I have the same batch from what it looks like compared to most of the people that are receiving these palettes. I want to show you like how soft these shadows are, okay? I'm going to zoom up a little bit, that way you can see like all the dust and residue. Okay, so you see the palette. This is a Morphe brush. Pat once, pat twice. That's how I was picking up the color. Look at all this color on the side of the eyeshadow. Now, if I swirl it, I'm going to go in Mercury just because it's a different color, and I love Axis. I don't want it to fall out and, you know, get really messed up. So let me swirl it in Mercury. Look at that. That's Mercury. Now let me go in All Star. You see all the fallout? Yes. And now I'm going to dust off the brush. Like, there is fallout all over my hand. And if I dump it over, trying to be careful, man. Trying to be careful. I don't want this thing to like be a disaster and mess up everything I have. This is all fallout from that, okay? I blew off the dust, and this is what the palette looks like. What you just witnessed is me not hitting the pan in 2 uses, but if I did keep swirling that brush in there, yes, you will hit pan. The shadows are very soft. You have to work with them as if they're loose pigments, and with loose pigments, you just tap the brush on like once or twice, brush off the excess, and apply as you go. Little goes a long way. These are very pigmented shadows. They're good quality, they really are. Fallout is not necessarily always a bad thing because it's very finely milled. It's gonna have a lot of fallout. Think of the Makeup Forever HD setting powder thing that they have, that little very fine white powder. It's very finely milled and it's loose, and I know this is not loose, but it is pressed into a palette. It's really up to you how you use this palette and really any type of makeup. If you have a very heavy hand in applying eyeshadows, you might not like this palette. This palette's not for everyone. Not every item is for everyone. Like, if there's something very hyped up and you want it, it just might not work out for you. For this palette, a lot of people are like freaking out about the fallout, But I'm just here to let you know that yes, there is fallout, but the product itself is still very good. By the way, the packaging is lovely. It's velvet and it's so soft. Yeah, it can get totally dirty. All my palettes get dirty. I just take a baby wipe to them and they're fine after. So I don't care if the packaging is velvety and can get dirty, because personally all my palettes get super dirty, and I just really do love the way it feels and the way it looks. It's a beautiful palette, and it's a very different palette, and it did work for me. So for me, it's a pass. I love this palette. I think the quality of the shadows is wonderful. I thought the matte shadows were quite smooth and they blended wonderful for me. I do take a long time blending, by the way, though. Like, I am pretty slow at my blending, and if you have any dry patches or scars or any dents around your skin, like I have a little bump right here somewhere and it like emphasizes it, but that's okay, no big deal. The shadows were still bomb for me, and I used Urban Decay Primer Potion, so maybe that's the trick. Like, you need a very lightweight primer for it. I'm not sure, because the 3 people that I did watch, they used a different kind of primer compared to like what I used, and it just didn't work out for them. For me, it worked out great. I give this palette a go. The price is good. The packaging's lovely. Quality is good for me because I look for pigmentation and how smooth and easy it is to work with. For me, it was easy to work with because I worked with it as if it was a loose shadow. You know, there are different ways to work with products and different ways to make products work for you. If this did not work for you, I really think you should give it another chance and maybe use a lighter hand with it and see how it is. If you don't like it, they have a return policy. Just return it. Like, it's really not a big deal. I hope you guys enjoyed my honest opinion on this palette that's going around and making people bonkers about it. And if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, and you can follow me on my social media. My Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram are all Bushra Hamilton. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I'm so high, I can't lie.